Extraction complete. Pelican 1 beginning ascent.
Welcome. I am a HellJumper. In other words, I am an Xbox recruit. HellDivers is an unbelievably good game. As of writing this, it is the 31st of August. The game has been out on Xbox for a grand total of 5 days, and I have a staggering 65 hours played. There is nothing quite like shooting a giant bug directly in the face, watching it explode as your character screams about freedom. This game is genuinely phenomenal, and today I want to talk about some of my favourite aspects of it and just talk about me and my experience with it. I want to start with its gunplay. Now, I love me a game where the guns feel great, and believe me, HellDivers 2 will deliver. Every weapon I've used feels exactly how it should. The sound design is perfect, the animations, the bullets, the drag, literally everything about this game's gun design and how they feel to use is incredible. I have used a plethora of weapons, ranging from assault rifles to shotguns to SMGs to special pistols to laser weapons to bullet laser weapons. I guess less, well, not bullet weapons, bullet laser weapons. I guess beam laser weapons. To round reload shotguns, to magazine reload shotguns, to collab weapons, to explosive weapons, to literally everything. And the one thing I can consistently say about every single weapon in this game is that they feel unbelievably good to use, no matter what. Every single gun in this game feels phenomenal. Stratagems are what separate this game from other horde shooters. They're essentially a little ball you press some funny arrows on your controller or keyboard, lob it, and watch freedom spread its beautiful wings as a poor none the wiser bot gets blown to complete smithereens. These stratagems come in all shapes and sizes, from weaponry you can call in, to vehicles and mechs, to massive bombs guaranteed to liberate your enemies, to rail cannons specifically designed to incinerate the biggest target on your screen. These balls of mass destruction are beautiful, and they cause a whole lot of hell. You can call them in from doing a little mini game with arrows, or as you play more and more and remember inputs you can get really good at. I've seen high levels call in hell bombs and portable hell bombs, what a pretty complicated combination, in under a couple seconds, what is very, very impressive. I myself has managed to get a handful of them pretty down, like the reinforce I've gotten pretty down, the 500kg I've got down, some of the weapons like the quasar I've got down. These things you kind of just pick up as time goes on and you learn how to do them better, and it's just beautiful. It really, really feels good to call them in, throw them, use them. Nothing is quite as satisfying as perfectly inputting a 500kg, absolutely fucking sending it, and then watching Liberty rain its beautiful, beautiful bombs down, and just, you see the 500kg bury itself into the ground, and then just a massive explosion, and you get a funny number on your screen, and it feels phenomenal. Warbonds are this game's battle passes. However, you can earn every single one of them for entirely free, and they last forever, meaning you can buy and progress them whenever you want. Now, the one negative thing I have to say, and honestly it's more of a positive, is that if you are a fellow recruit, it's like that damn 2 cakes meme, you're spoiled for choice. There's so much good stuff in all of these warbonds, it's hard to choose what one to start with, let alone which ones to buy, and there's so much to consider. What weaponry they bring, what armor passives, what stratagems, boosters, helmets, capes. There's so much in each warbond, and if you were to buy it with money, it's a grand total of £10. It's cheap and it's good. What more could you want? You also get one of the best ones in the entire game, HellDivers Mobilize, for literally entirely free. And this warbond has some of the best weapons and armor passives and boosters in the entire game. I use a plethora of stuff from this battle pass even now. It has one of my personal favorite assault rifles in the Liberator Penetrator, what I also believe is quite popular because it's a medium armor penetrating assault rifle, where essentially there's like 4 technically armor types in this game, what a light pen, medium pen, heavy pen, and anti-tank. And you know, you have a medium pen weapon, you can kill or go through medium penetration armor and light armor, etc., etc. You get the idea. And a lot of like cannon fodder in this game is medium pen, so having a medium pen assault rifle is really nice, and the Liberator Penetrator, I believe, is pretty popular anyway, so, you know. Anyway, moving on. More about my experience as a new recruit, and even more so as an Xbox recruit. I'm sure if you're watching this video, you either own the game or want to buy it. Let me shortly say this. For £45 or $40, you can have one of the best games out there on the market right now. Best for value, for fun, progression, future, past, story, everything. And given Sony's recent history of live service games, I'm looking at you, Concord and Marathon, them producing this absolute fucking banger is something I never would have expected. Anyway, back to Xbox stuff. So if you didn't see, when Helldivers 2 released on Xbox, Arrowhead, the developers, did something very special for us. See, at the time there was a 3-front war. We had 3 major orders active, to kill 1 billion squids, 1.5 billion bots, and 6 billion bugs. The squids were by far going to be the slowest, but Arrowhead did something. They made the squids invade New Alexandria. Now, if you don't know what New Alexandria was, it was a city on Reach, the planet the Covenant glassed in the aptly named game Halo Reach. We Halo guys have a soft spot for that planet, so when we saw it was getting attacked again, or well, you know, New Alexandria was getting attacked again, I'm pretty sure 90% of Xbox divers went right over there, and to put it easy, we slaughtered the Illuminate. That 1 billion squids, done in like 2 days. Obviously, we had a lot of help from our PC and PS brothers, giving us like stratagems and other cool stuff to try out, but you can even ask them. We went out for blue blood, and you best believe we got what we were looking for. And the greatest bit about Helldivers is that every single last thing is canon. So if you shot a bug in the head, that's canon. If your teammate blows you up with a rocket, that's canon. If you blow up a factory strata and they launch through the air with this hilarious glitch, guess what? That's canon. There's something about everything being canon that just makes it so much funner when you nuke some poor bugs up and somehow only kill 2 of them and kill all 4 of your team. I will also say, going back to like the New Alexandria stuff, really quickly, it's also funny because obviously it being canon to the lore means that the Helldivers got a shit ton of reinforcements, and these reinforcements just immediately went to spill blue blood, and obviously Xbox players specifically are really good at spilling blue blood. I mean, we've been doing it for 25 plus years, or nearly 25 years, through Halo, so it just felt so right. I commonly find with games similar to this one that the uniqueness grows old. How many times can you watch your friend get killed in friendly fire? Or how many times can you watch a big boom before getting that bored? Helldivers just isn't doing that. Every single time I call a 500 kg, I love to watch it blow it up. Or every napalm barrage, watching the funny number at the bottom of my screen ramp up towards 60 plus kills. And the races. Oh, the aliens are so fun and different to fight. I just don't ever really get fatigued. Now, my most kills have been against the bugs, but that's mainly because the major orders have been assigned. And hey,
I'm doing my part.
But with that said, I still have about 2,000 plus kills on both bots and squids alike. As an Xbox diver, I did immediately go to the squids front to be one of the fellows who spilled blue blood in Reach's name. But the second we finished the squids off, I went to the bots and then the bugs. And honestly, I don't dislike any of these factions. Sub-factions are a bit different. Fuck you, Predator Strain, and even more recently, fuck you, Rupture Strain. Anyway, I have a good few thousand kills now, and I love finding each and every single one of them the same. Especially because every front keeps you on your toes about your loadout. I personally change my primary and my armor depending on the front, and my stratagems depending on what goals we have or biomes are in. Basically what I'm saying is I am heavily surprised in the amount of build flexibility this game has. Sure, there are going to be the ones you bring everywhere. Personally, my thermites don't ever leave my pockets. However, that is all preference, and it makes the game so fun. This kind of harkens back to what I was saying earlier about the Liberator Penetrator, because yeah, I bring that pretty much everywhere whenever I'm fighting bots. But then maybe I'll switch it up to one of the SMGs. And then if I'm going ahead and I'm fighting Illumina, the squids, I bring out the MA5C. But bearing in mind, both the Liberate Penetrator and the MA5C are medium pen armors, so there's not really, or weapons rather, so there's not really that big of a difference between them. The one major difference I will say is every time I fight bugs, I do bring out the SG451 Cookout, what is an incendiary shotgun, what is just like chef's kiss. I think the only way that this gun could ever get better is if it had, what do you call it? Medium penetration. However, that would just make it absolutely like completely busted. Speaking of fun, is it a fun game to play solo? You bet your ass it is. Some of the most fun I've had in HellDivers 2 have been when I drop in solo, throw an SOS beacon and get backup. I made some friends just the other day from doing exactly this, and we ended up playing for like 4 hours together. We also got to bring a level 1 into Super Helldive, and I highly recommend doing so if possible. It's a seriously entertaining game, even when you're getting your asses kicked. There's guaranteed to be some good moments, whether that be hilarious deaths or funny friendly fire. There's always something that makes the games good. Plus, there's this glitch right now what sends factory striders flying when you kill them, was really funny stuff. Like I mentioned earlier, it all gets canonized as well. So there is going to be a handful of tales told potentially by like retired Helldivers to their children about blowing up a factory strider and it getting launched out of the fucking stratosphere. With all of this said, it has a handful of problems, mainly with optimization and bugs. I've had a handful of them now, from things like Pelican 1 phasing through the floor, as you saw in the intro, to audio coming out occasionally, crashing and long freeze times, and probably the worst in my playtime is this weird bug where it puts you into game chat, but when you return to party chat or vice versa, it just doesn't work. So far, the only fix I've found for this is to fully restart your Xbox. What really sucks when it happens right at the start of a dive, because then you can't talk to a team for like a solid 25 minutes. However, this does happen far and few between one another, where you can get a good couple hours out before encountering it. Now, I say this is my worst one mainly because, like I said, if you get it right at the start of a dive, what has happened a couple of times before, you then drop in, you spend 25 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever it may be in that dive, you then have to come out, restart your Xbox. It's upwards of like a 50-minute inconvenience. Whereas, if your game crashes or freezes or whatever and you have to restart it, you can just load it back up in like a minute and then rejoin. So yeah, that's kind of like my one complaint, is that and then the optimization of this game is not too great. I've had my frame counter on before, and I've been dropping as low to like 35. What doesn't sound that bad, but for a game that targets 60 in performance mode on a Xbox Series X, it's a little like crazy, especially because I personally have a lot of things like a depth of field, anti-aliasing, motion blur, all of that stuff is turned off. So it's like kind of using as little power as possible, and I'm still at a staggering 35 frames. I kind of like average when stuff is like going on, or even when stuff isn't really going on, kind of like 45. What really sucks is the second you get back to your ship, it is just like smooth 60, so you can really feel that difference. Again, it's kind of in like 15-20 frames, so it's not the end of the world, and especially like in a PvE game. However, it is noticeable and it is kind of annoying. On another positive note, the community is genuinely beautiful. I have had two bad encounters in the entire time playing so far. One of them was just a freak because he just kept team killing because he had his autocannon turret destroyed by a friendly's 500 kg. And the other one was also team killing for quite literally no reason. I looked like back and I was thinking about that dive, and I was thinking about everything that was going on and why he could have like ended up team killing. But no, he just had a grenade launcher equipped and kept blowing me and my friend up, and so yeah, we just ended up kicking him. And again, but with that said, of all these people have been, both of these people have been booted by the hosts, and they agree that these guys are just weird. I have just over 100 dives now, and out of the nearly all of them being 4 players, I've essentially met 2 bad eggs in 300 people. What's a really good ratio. especially if you go to other like communities, because it feels like you would encounter a bad person nearly every single game you play. If you're on the fence about buying HellDivers 2, I would highly recommend getting it. For £35 or again $40, you can have some of the most fun that I've personally had in years. This game is genuinely incredible, and considering the low price tag, the amount of content, the community, and much more, it's so worth it. It's one of those games that's guaranteed to create memories, and by Liberty's hand, you will create them. There is something about HellDivers that literally feels like you're injecting like fucking meth straight into your brain via like dopamine. Like I said earlier, there is nothing that quite hits as hard as throwing out a napalm and then watching the number at the bottom of your screen just skyrocket. It is just literally chef's kiss. There's so much in this game that is just like easy to love, and especially if you're playing with friends, and if not, like I said earlier, you can make friends while playing relatively easy. Like, I genuinely struggle, other than optimization and the few bugs I've had to sit here and talk negative about the game, except the rupture strain, but that's because like they're literally, as of like the release of this video / recording this part of the video, they've been out for approximately 7 hours, so I haven't locked down the best, the best counter to them, I guess you could say. Anyway, HellDivers 2 is an unbelievable game, and again, for £35, I know some of the credit, I mean, I play like primarily on Super Helldive, so, it's bad. Anyway, as I was saying, for £35, for $40, this game is like phenomenal. And even if you just play it in tier rooms where you play like maybe for a week here and then a week there or whatever, or a couple hours here, a couple hours there, you're always progressing the game, and you feel like you're always doing stuff that makes you feel better, especially because of how major orders work. You kind of never are in this situation where, as long as you're on the same planets that they require, or doing the whatever it is they require, you're never in a situation where it's like, damn, I wish I did this or that differently. Because you come out of these situations always with a smile on your face, because you know that you've contributed to whatever the MO is. And that is an unbelievably great feeling. And again, like, I play a lot solo. I'm the highest ranked out of my friends who play this game, and I've probably put maybe 15, maybe 20 hours solo by now. Obviously I say solo, but I call in like SOS beacons and get like randoms to come in and help as well with the missions, because again, I mainly play on Super Helldive, but even if you play on earlier difficulties, you can do the same thing. So a lot of people like to play on like difficulty 6 or 5 or 4, and playing on these like lower difficulties don't necessarily mean like you're contributing less, because a lot of them like are just about kills or extracting samples and stuff for the MOs, what reward you with a whole bunch of medals, what you can then spend on your warbonds whenever you want. It's just something about this game really does like trigger dopamine, and it's unbelievable. Like, it's unbelievable. And the fact, as I said earlier, this has come from like a Sony game, given their like track service of live service games, it's unbelievable. Like, there's no other way to put it. As an Xbox player, and if you are, as I said, on the fence about buying this game, I seriously recommend looking deep into it and seeing if it's a game that you would enjoy. If you like Firefight, if you like Halo 3 ODST, was they have the collab now. If you like Gears Horde, if you like Left 4 Dead, if you like pretty much any horde shooter, if you've ever played one in history and been like, wow, that was a fucking blast, then you should absolutely look into HellDivers 2. It's like all of the best horde shooters mashed into one and then thrown in liberation via massive explosions. Oh, and like the in-universe role-playing as well, last thing, is just fucking unbelievable. Like, it's so fun to just like role-play. Anyway, that covers everything I want to talk about. I thank you very, very, very much for watching. I really, really appreciate if you've made it this far. If you have, comment reduce. Actually, don't comment reduce, or do. Comment very democratic. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you, hopefully, in the next one.